All right, so guys, welcome everyone, and thanks for joining us today. I want to begin today just quickly by acknowledging the Awabakal and the Wadawurrung people, traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today, and pay my respects to the elders, past and present. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples that are here today as well. So we are super privileged to have Sam Patterson from All Time Dads joining us today for the session. So I'll intro Sam in a sec, and I'll tell you a little bit more about him in a minute. But firstly, just wanted to extend a massive welcome to all of our SF clients and our Sufficient Funds community. It's awesome to see you all here. Great to see some familiar faces or familiar names in the list there. And really good to see you all dedicating some time and engaging in that idea of learning and growing. That's what we're all about. And also, I want to just extend an equally big welcome to the guests. So the guests who are probably new to us, it's great that you guys could join us and see how we connect with our clients and with our community. We're financial planners, we're mortgage brokers, we are money nerds at heart, but I guess at the core of what we do, life comes first. So our goal is to figure out what is going on with your life and help you bring it all together. And really, that's why we're here today. So present and intentional, the keys to unlock more time with your kids. So Sam Patterson and I, g'day Sam.
G'day James.
We met probably a year ago. We got a mutual business coach, and I guess we were going through some similar programs in tweaking and updating and working on our businesses. And I think what blew my mind about Sam really when we first met was his ability to share and his commitment to help those around him. And so, and that was across everything in terms of business. But here we are today. Sam is the subject matter expert. Sam's a heavily credentialed coach. Is one of the few ICF master certified coaches in Australia. And through his business, All Time Dads, he's here to help you grab those moments with your kids, make more memories and have more fun. So Sam and his team give you the tools to become more present, strengthen your relationships and show up as your best self at all times. All Time Dads is determined to create a world where kids get the best versions of their dads. So I know you're all going to get lots out of this. I'm going to step aside for a bit and let Sam, the legend, take over and run the show. So Sam, let's get stuck in, mate. Over to you. And I'll join back at the end. And guys, just to note, please drop questions in the chat and we'll engage on all of that towards the end. Cheers.
Brilliant. Thank you, James. It's going to be hard to live up to all that, but I'm ready, and I'm ready for a great session. I want to make sure that everybody the next 55 minutes gets everything they came here for and some more. And I really appreciate having your time and your ear over this time. And I'm going to make sure that even though we can't see you, that you're engaged through the chat as we go through the session, and make sure that you've got plenty of really quality stuff to take away. I'm not just going to stand here and ramble. I want to make sure that you get some stuff that you can put into place in your life today and ongoing. So I just want to share my screen with you to begin. So we're in the right place, present and intentional. So the key is to unlock more time with your kids. And I'm going to talk about the type of time that we really want to unlock rather than just time itself, but especially quality time and how we're going to do that. I want to begin by talking to you about my why. So these are my beautiful boys, Leo, the big boy on the left, and Bo, the little boy on the right. I wasn't sure that I wanted to have kids. I got really concerned about the state of the earth and what was happening, all the doom and gloom, the horror. And just really had to think about whether I wanted to bring kids into an earth like this and an existence like this. And then one day I had a bit of an epiphany that what happens if I bring some really wonderful people into the world that we can grow and nurture. That's Ellie, my wife, and I can grow and nurture. And so they can have a positive impact on this place and make it an even better place for all of us to live. So that's them there. They're my reason for existence now. And the reason that I started All Time Dads was because I'm really driven to make sure that every kid has an opportunity to get the best version of their dad at home, and also from the dad's perspective that they are able to show up at their best and can have the tools to know what they can do to be more present, to be more intentional in the moments, and to show up at their best as often as they possibly can. So We started this journey about 1.5 years ago with All Time Dads. So I've been a leadership coach working in elite sport and different things for about 15 years, and I wanted to have more purpose in my work. So here we are right now. So my why is really compelling. We're on a mission to change the world and make sure that every kid gets the best version of their dads. But what I'd love to see from you right now in the chat is, why is now the right time for you to be working on this stuff? So if you can please share that now. Why is now the right time for you to be working on this stuff? So don't be shy. Let's come up with some reasoning. You showed up here for a reason today. What is that reason for you? To be more present, to be more intentional, to have more fun, to make more memories? What drove you to show up? So you may well need to click the Q&A button to add your comment in there. We'll be patient. We'll wait until we see them. So why is now the right time for you to be working on this stuff? Click the Q&A if you need to add your question in, to add your comment in. I'm growing so quickly. My son's just started school, so I have less time with him at home. What a perfect opportunity to make the most of the moments. Thanks, Shane, for letting us know. So you look after 3 crazy boys and want to do it better. That's what drives us all, isn't it? Approaching 40 and wanting to get the right balance between family and work. So these are all fantastic reasons to be here. Make the most before they grow too quickly to find better work-life balance. It's a really interesting thing, isn't it? Somewhat, the best advice I ever got before I had kids is to make the most of the moments, because the time goes in the blink of an eye. And I'd argue that it goes even faster than that, but I want to make sure that, as soon as my boys are born, they can grow up in a world they love, and I can't control much of that, aside from the fact that I can give my all to be as present as I can be physically and emotionally, as much as I can be in their lives. So those are all fantastic reasons for being here. So thank you for sharing that. So here's what we're about to do together over the next 50 minutes. So I'm going to introduce you to your best self. We're going to do a visualization activity, which will help you to really connect with who you are, how you feel when you're at your best. We're going to set you up to win the next week, with a view to winning far beyond the next week. But I'm going to give you a morning routine so that you're set up to win the day every day. I'm also going to help you to create a quest to guide you in how you want to show up for your kids. So in the title, it's about being present and intentional. And intention is a massive key to being able to have more quality time with your kids and with your partner as well, if that's relevant for you. And also, we want to help you to make some really big decisions for the year ahead. So it sounds like quite a bit to fit in. We've done it in a way that it's really simple and practical, and you'll have some tools to be able to leave the session with, as I mentioned, that you can put into place straight away. So all time is not created equal. At All Time Dads, our thing is about having quality time. That is it. It's not about the volume of time necessarily, because some of us are limited in the amount of time that we can spend with our families. But we want to make sure that when we are together, it is purely and simply quality time. So we say the first foundation that it sits on is around intention. So being really clear in how you want to show up for the people that you love. And what leads on from that is also having courage. So if I'm to be courageous about showing up for the people I love and having quality time with them, I need to have the conversations with the people who need to hear from me about my boundaries. I need to chase my life and business goals in a really courageous way and make sure that I've paved the way to be able to show up with intention. And also the third thing, presence, when I'm with the people that I care about. And by being intentional and having courage and presence, I'm able to truly spend quality time. And that is the most important thing that we're aiming for. So let me talk to you about the work that we do just briefly. So at All Time Dads, I'm not going to read these to you because that's a bit dull when people do that. But what we're saying is that the dads who work with us let us know that over time, they're doing far more stuff that makes them feel good. They're able to achieve their big rocks in life and work. They've got far more, far deeper and stronger relationships with the people that they care about. They're able to switch off more easily and be more present. They're able to have fun and make a lot more memories. And the number one thing, of course, which is important, and that's why you're here today, is they're a better dad than they've ever been. So you mums and dads who are on this call, this hour is about you creating a pathway to being a better dad or a mum than you've ever been. And I guarantee you're a great one now, but we're going to make you even better. So I'm going to get your answers in the Q&A again here. So what has the biggest impact on how you show up for the people you love? The single biggest impact on how you show up for them, if you can pop that in the Q&A again. And happy birthday for Noah Adam on the 21st. Oh, Corinda, I love what you said. I've just caught up with your last comment around having 3 beautiful children who need us right now. They're growing so quickly and life is short. We want to collect memories and not accumulate stuff. That is fantastic. So mental health, Andrew, thank you. Yeah, Adam, same deal. The biggest impact on how you show up for the people you love, mental health. So what has the single biggest impact on how you show up for the people you love? Positive and negative. What are the things that really impact you? Getting off your screen and being present. So distraction and demeanor. Yeah, we find in terms of distraction, this is the thing that goes on all the time. It's either distraction through a device or a piece of technical equipment, or it's our brains thinking about something else, being with our kids physically, but not actually being in the moment. And they're massive things. Okay. So what we're about to do, this is a really cool exercise that we're going to go through. It's a visualization exercise to introduce you to your best self. And once you've got a feel for what your best self looks and feels like, we're going to run with that and give you an opportunity to bring more of that best self of yours into your life on a daily basis. So to fully engage in this activity, what I'd love for you to do is to get comfortable. If you're sitting or standing, whatever it is for you, and if it's not going to cause you any danger, can you just please close your eyes and just begin to relax and just find a nice steady breathing rhythm. So that's all we want to do, is just begin to relax and have a nice steady breathing rhythm. There's no need for your arms or hands. You can just let them hang and be comfortable. No need to do anything in particular with your breath. Just breathe in and out at a rate that feels comfortable for you so you can relax. And as we work through this visualization exercise, you won't need to take any notes. You won't need to answer any questions. I just want you to fully engage in the activity. And at the end, I'll ask you to open your eyes up and make a couple of notes. But that'll be at the end, and I'll let you know when that's coming. So just keep breathing and relaxing. So what I want you to do is bring into your mind a time in the future when you are showing up as your very best self. What sorts of things does your best self do when you're with your kids? And how does your best self feel when you're with your kids? And what sorts of things does your best self say when you're with your kids? And what are you hearing from your kids that indicates to you that you're showing up as your best self? And how does your body feel when it is at its best? And what sort of movement activities help your body to be at its best? What sorts of foods do you eat that allow you to show up as your best self? What activities fill your spare time when you're showing up as your best self? And what does your best self do to be inspired? And what kinds of experiences does your best self want to have in life? So when you're ready, I want you to gently open your eyes. And if you don't already have it in front of you, pen and paper would be fantastic right now. And I would love for you to write down 3 traits or words that describe who you are when you're at your best. So whatever feels most important that come up from that visualization exercise for you, what are 3 traits or words that describe who you are when you're at your best? And once you've got those written down, I would love for you to share them in the chat. The chat is now working, so please pop those 3 traits or words in the chat that describe who you are when you're at your best. Beautiful, Corinda. Excellent, Nicola. Love to hear from everybody here. Solid, loving, and joyous. Wonderful, Jamie. Jess, that's brilliant too. Relaxed, engaged, and loving. Thank you, Andrew and James. Focused, aware, motivated, present, engaging, and light. Taking that to mean fun, humorous, easy company. I want to hear from everybody here. So what 3 traits or words describe who you are when you're at your best? So what I want you to do, if you haven't shared yet, please do share in the chat. Otherwise, I want you to put a tick next to the things that you feel that you're doing really well right now. Thank you, Tash. So of the 3 you've written down, which are the ones that you're doing really, really well right now? Put a tick next to those. And then circle one that you're energized to make some improvement in. So one of those traits or words that you feel energized to make some improvement in, I want you to circle it. And then name one action that you'll take over the next 24 hours that will help move you closer to being that version of your best self. So circle one trait that you've got some energy to be better at, and then choose an action that will help you to move forward towards being better with that trait over the next 24 hours. So once you've done that, I'd really love for you to share what is the one that you're going to work on for yourself, and what are you going to do to be better with that trait? So please let me know in the chat. Don't be shy. Let's build some collective energy here. Excellent. I love that. Okay, put the screens away. Funny, energetic, and loving. And of those, Brendan, which is the one that you're going to focus on? Nicola, content, reduce social media consumption, removing adverts and wants. Very nice. James, a clear division between work and family life. I want you to really think about a specific action there, a tiny action, a step that will help you to get closer to having that division. Putting away my phone when around the kids, Tanya, that's brilliant. It's a bit different now. I ride my bike to and from work, but the phone away is a massive thing. When I drove, I would always, as soon as I saw the driveway, I'd get my phone out and turn it off for the night. So it's done. If I want to get it out after the kids go to bed, I can, but at least it means that I can be totally with them. Adam, be more fun, be more lighthearted, and avoid external stress. Again, Adam, I want you to choose one thing, if you can, that's really specific that you can do over the next 24 hours. I know I'm going to give you some help in this session for some things you can do over the next 24 hours and 7 days. But if you're going to choose one action that will move you towards being more fun or being more lighthearted, what would that be? Engaged, active listening. So Luke, if you can be really specific when you're thinking about active listening, and have a moment in mind where you're going to show up and be completely present so you can listen actively. Just choose one time in your day in the next 24 hours where you really want to be switched on with your listening. Okay, so we want to be as specific as we possibly can about improving in these areas that are going to help us too. Tash, nice. Make my kids laugh. Read them funny stories that always get a giggle. Brilliant. Okay. This is great. So kind, Corinda, be more aware and conscious of your words towards family members. Make sure you think before I speak, how will this make them feel? And it's a really cool thing to think about. How will they experience me? How do I want my kids to experience me tonight, tomorrow? How do I want them to feel when they're around me? Those can be the things that can guide us really well. Andrew, to improve setting intentions for day, week, month, and year. Okay, brilliant. And the activity that we've got, the King in the Morning activity for the next 7 days as well, will really help you to be focused and intentional about how you do this. So thank you all for sharing. That's terrific, because it makes my job a lot easier rather than just talking to myself. I can see what you're all up to and get a feel for where you're at and where you need some assistance as well. So it's really interesting. I had a walk with a guy who runs a podcast called the Dad Mindset, and we were talking about it. And he said, when do you think dads are at their best? And my answer, I gave a little bit of thought, and I said, when they can see the world through their kids' eyes. I think it's as simple as that. If you're seeing how they experience life and considering how they experience you and everything around you and everything that goes on in their world, then I think you can be the best parent that you can possibly be. And we're not a parenting program, but I think if you can shift perspective and feel as they would feel and try and see the world through their eyes, it gives us a massive start. So thank you for that. The power of visualization is immense. I believe in it a lot. One of the recent programs that we did, we had an Olympic gold medalist rower in it. And he won a gold medal in Beijing, and I was asking him about visualization and asked him if he'd mind sharing with the group of other dads that we had in there. And he said they used it in a really powerful way in Beijing. When he won his gold medal, he said he'd never been to the area where they were having the rowing. He'd never been to Beijing. He'd never seen the stadium. His coach went there ahead of time, and then he came back and painted a beautiful picture for the athletes about what it was like to be there, what the stadium looked like, where they were going to row, everything about it, the conditions, the grandstand, everything. He painted the clearest possible picture for them. So when they got there, nothing was a surprise, and they'd rehearsed it in their mind. They knew they wanted to win gold, and they were able to do it. But visualization is a massive help. If there's things that you want to get going in your life, if you can find a way to make it happen and use the power of your mind to get it's called a reticular activating system. It's like a compass in your brain. You can visualize something really well, you can make it happen. Okay. Might want to ask me more about that later if we have time. Okay. So what we're going to do, and no offense to you ladies that are on here too, because you can be queen in the morning. One of the things that we do in All Time Dads is create a routine to win the morning so that we can win the day. And it has been super, super effective. I use it with my female executive coaching clients as well, so they can start their day off every single day knowing how they want the day to be and live their day as close to that as possible. So I didn't just want to take you through an activity where you're thinking about being your best self and getting a feel for what it's like and hearing what people will be saying when you're at your best. I actually want you to experience being at your best as often as you possibly can. In saying this, not every day goes to plan, but if we started off on the right foot, we're going to give ourselves a mighty start to making sure that we get what we need from every single day. So the Sufficient Funds team will be sharing with you a tool that we use. It is called King of the Morning. And my challenge to you, and I want you to make a commitment to yourself, is just to do the activity for the next 7 days. It is so simple. It will take you about 5 minutes. You do it as close as you can to first thing in the morning, and it will set your day up to be amazing. So you don't need to write these down. I'm going to get you to answer a couple of these questions in a moment, but here's what it looks like. So the first thing we do in the morning is express what we're grateful for. And the cool thing about gratitude is when we express it, science says that it does great things for our brain. It releases dopamine, serotonin, and it helps our brain to feel really good. But it also shuts off the negative dialogue that we have going around. So if mental health is some of the stuff that holds you back from being able to show up really well, sometimes a simple expression of gratitude in the morning, and if you focus on what you're grateful for and really feel it, can help your brain to shut off the other side of what's going on that mightn't be as positive as that. And it's a really cool way to be able to let the people around you know as well, if they're included, what you're grateful for about them. So that's how we start. Today, I'm grateful for. It can be anything. When we started, I've had a gratitude practice for more than 10 years and do it every single day. We got our kids into it, I reckon about a year ago. And my son, Bo, when he just turned 2, he would say pretty much every day he was grateful for fruit bats. And the next day it became tomatoes. And then one day he said, I'm grateful for Leo making my breakfast. And we knew right then he got it. So it can start at any age, and I encourage you to involve your kids in this as well. So after we've expressed what we're grateful for, the next thing is to make an intention. We're here to be intentional about how we show up for the people we love and how we live our lives. So we say, to make today great, I will. And you can answer that question in any way that you want. But we want to set out to have a really effective, successful day or a fun day, whatever matters for us. And the third thing, so this is really cool. We focus on a priority, not priorities. Priority was a singular word up until I think it was the 1900s. So one priority. So my priority for today is, so one priority. And once I've done this, I'll feel a sense of achievement. It can be a really simple thing, but we want to get one thing done in the morning that is a priority that's going to set us up to feel like we're having a really successful day. And the next one, so important for our mental health, physical health, for our energy, for setting us off to work, feeling good, for helping us to be our best around our kids. This is how I'll move my body today. So it's about having movement as part of your routine every single day. This is a really challenging one. When my wife and I had kids, I stopped doing my normal routine because I didn't want to be selfish and I wanted to be there for her, and lots of us do that. And then one day we had a conversation and said, neither of us are at our best. We've got to change something, and we put a new routine in place. But that movement thing is such an important part to how we show up each and every day. And the last one, again, going back to another intention, this is how I will show up for my family today. Okay, so this is really vital. By doing these things, we're giving ourselves a chance to have more quality time with the people we love. We're able to show up with intention. We're able to be more present. We're able to share more moments, have more fun, create more memories, and we're also able to do more active stuff that helps us to feel good. So what I want you to do right now in the chat is let us know what you're grateful for right now. And also, so that's number one. And then number 5, I want to hear from you. How do you want to show up for your family for the rest of today? So just answer in the chat, number 1 and number 5, what are you grateful for right now? And how will you show up for your family today? Nice, James. Everyone's grateful for fruit bats until you see about 700 of them flying over your house and landing in your fruit trees. Oh, beautiful, Jamie. It's all a learning space, isn't it, Jamie? That's the thing. We've got an opportunity to learn, and we don't always show up perfectly, but we're doing our best. And being able to shift perspective and doing an exercise like this every day will help you to see the other side and to be able to show up in the moment. Giving a child what they need rather than coming at it from, if we're flustered or if we're frustrated about things. Nice, Andrew, showing up with openness and compassion. Tanya, even one level further, how do you want your kids to feel when you hug them? I know I didn't ask you to answer that, but just think about that. How do you want them to feel? Smile and a hug. Again, same deal, Nicola. That's wonderful. Brendan, being present, stop working. Okay, so some disciplines needed there and some really solid boundaries. Being present, stop working. So one of the things that I thought about, the number one thing that our kids want from us is quality time. Yeah, they might like playing on devices and stuff, but really when it comes to us, they just want to be with us and they want to see that we're in the moment with them, and they as we all know, they see straight through us when we're not. So from those I haven't heard of yet, what are you grateful for right now, and how will you show up for your family today? Bloody good, Jamie. Fantastic. Fantastic. That's lovely, Adam. It's cool, you go through a daily gratitude practice as I've done for a long time, and I'm grateful for different things. And I was speaking to a guy a couple of weeks ago who's a quadriplegic, and then I was riding home and I thought, I don't often express gratitude for my arms and legs being functional. I'm thinking about the bigger picture, and it's so cool what we have. Switching off at 3 o'clock and cooking a delicious home-cooked meal. sit down while we talk about our most favourite part of the day, which always puts a smile on the kids' faces. Terrific, Corinda. Switching off tech when kids are home. And I want you to think, Tash, as well on the top of that, not just switching off the tech, but how do you want to be emotionally showing up for them so they can experience you in a certain way? Jumping on the trampoline with Ada and Eden. Beautiful. James, a couple of backflips, put you in hospital. They'll come and visit you and bring you flowers. Jess. Lovely. I didn't ask permission to call you Jess. I said, Jessica, I hope it's okay. Grateful for having great, healthy kids and spending time with them before they go to bed. It's such a good time in the day. I love being hugged more than anything by my boys. And I rue the day when they won't hold my hand anymore. Let's be honest, our Bo won't hold my hand anyway, but Leo does, and he's 4.5, so time's running out. This is why we've got to grab these moments. Okay, so this is really cool. We have an opportunity over the next 7 days to nail this stuff. It will take you no time at all. It's a really cool exercise if you want to get others involved in your family, partner, kids if they're old enough, even as simple, at the end of the day, what went well today. But if you're asking them what they're grateful for, is a great start. If you can do each of these 5 things, and it doesn't need to be hugely long, if it's about moving your body and you feel stuck for time, in James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, people always ask the question or say, it takes 60 days to create a habit, or 90 days, or 21 days. And he says the thing is about repetition. So even if it's about doing it for 1 or 2 minutes or 5 minutes, if you can get it started, that starts to build your habit. So if it's around movement, you feel stuck for time, that is one of the ways that you can do that, is to start moving towards building a habit rather than thinking you need to set an hour aside. Good on you, Luke. Hey, Luke, it's the right time to be working on this stuff. It gets you really ahead of the game. Congratulations anyway. Okay. So the 10-second quest, this is where we're going next. So we have thought about who we are when we're at our best, how we feel, how we show up when we're at our best. And now we want to make sure that we've got a daily routine to be able to do that. The next thing that I want to give you is a bit of a compass for being able to, it's a reference point, a compass for how you want to show up and being able to check yourself in the moment. So as I've said here, 10-second quest, and I'll explain it in a moment, gives you alignment between how you want to show up and how you do actually show up for your kids. It is an opportunity to check in with yourself in the moment. And if you are feeling frustrated or things are hard or you're tired or you're a bit grumpy, just say, no, it's not the type of parent that I want to be. I actually want to show up this way. And the last thing it does, if you have a really clear quest about who you want to be as a dad or a mum, it gives you an opportunity to deepen your relationships. So creating a 10-second quest, this is what it looks like. I'm a dad or a mum who, and I want you to think about the key traits that you want to embody. It mightn't just be the best self traits, it might be other traits. And then what we want to say is because of a compelling reason. So I'm a dad or mum who, because of a compelling reason. So this is what the examples can look like. I'm a dad or a mum who has fun and creates memories with my kids because I want them to enjoy being around me. I'm a dad or a mum who's patient, loving, and curious because my dad was like that and it made me feel good. And this is my one. I'm a dad who gives my kids the best version of me because that is what they deserve. Okay. So it's your opportunity now. I want you to create your own 10-second quest for who you want to be as a dad or a mum. And then once you've created it, we're going to share them. And this gets really cool when we see each other open up and we can understand a little bit more about each other and what we're all striving towards as a dad or a mum. Luke, if you can write it down now, this one would be super, this 10-second quest, mainly because I want you to answer it too, just to start the process towards becoming the sort of dad that you want to be. This is where it starts. So write it down. They always say, if it's related to goals, you're more than 20 times more likely to achieve it if it's written down than if it's not. So this is where we start right now, is with this exercise written down. I like writing down as opposed to putting it in my phone. No distraction, and it makes it a real thing. So once you've got it sorted for yourself, I would love for you each to share your 10-second quest. I love that comment earlier too, James. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. It's so true. So what is your quest? I can't wait to see them. And if you're watching the recording, please let us know what your quest is as well. I'm a mum who takes my son on adventures outside because I want him to enjoy exploring and learning in nature like my husband and I did and loved. Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm a mum who's present, joyful, and calm because I want my kids to feel loved, happy, and peaceful every day so they can grow from this safe space and thrive. That is wonderful, Tash. And ideally, as I can see, we're aspiring to be this person. And it gives us a really cool reference point. As I mentioned, we had a dad in a program recently, and he was in the throes of yelling at one of his kids and said, hang on a minute, this isn't what I show up and tell Sam and the other dads about every week. It's not who I want to be. And it was a really easy way for him to check himself in the moment. And it also gives us an opportunity to reflect on who we are at the end of every day, at the start of the day, and how we're living up to that. What I want to suggest too is, once you've written this down, just see how you go over the next few days with it. If you can stick it somewhere that it's useful and you can see it, again, it gives you a reference point to check in on and know how you're traveling. Come on, I want to see more here. They don't need to be perfect. I'm a dad who will always sit, listen, and see you for you because I believe in you, your future, and our connection. Andrew, that is so good. That's profound. I'm a dad who chooses to spend time with my boy because I know this will have a positive emotional intelligence development outcome for the rest of his life. Spot on. Come on, let's not be afraid. Someone that James and I know very well says prolific over perfect. Just get it out there and we can refine it later. I'm a mum who gets involved in the kids' activities and takes them on family holidays because I want to raise warm and loving adults who cherish their childhood memories. So good. I'm a dad who's calm, focused, and effective in everything I do, allowing me to switch into full-time dad mode because leading by example allows my kids to thrive now and into the future. This is a really cool thing too, James. Our kids are watching us all the time. We all know that. And by how we show up and what they see in us, it really gives them an opportunity to see how things can be done really well. And also, as I say to people, and I tell my dad, it gives us an opportunity, it gives our kids an opportunity to see how they can do things better as well. So they see a really good example and they can also then see a better example that they can put in place. Again, I was having another conversation with a dad recently about the work that we do, and he said it echoes through generations. And that was a really cool way of looking at it. The work that we're all doing today can echo through generations because it impacts our families and our kids we love so much in a really positive way. They can grow up and take on the lessons of what we're seeing and what we're role modeling to them, and then have their own families if that's what they decide to do. They again have a terrific role model, and it just keeps going and going and going. Anyone else want to share before we go on? This is excellent. Okay. So if you haven't yet finished putting your 10-second quest into place, please make sure that you keep writing it because it is a really cool thing that we can have in our pocket, as I said, to be able to reference every single day and in moments when we're finding things hard, or in moments when we're feeling really light as well, but to know exactly what we're aiming for and to guide ourselves through that with our kids. Okay, so what I want you to do now is to glimpse into your own future. You're showing up as your best self. You've got a routine to win the morning, win the day. You've got a really clear quest about who you want to be as a parent. The next thing that I would love for you to do is to consider moving 12 months ahead in time. So let's imagine that it's February 15, 2024. And I want you to believe and imagine that you've had a remarkable year. The next 12 months is going to be remarkable for you. Okay. So let's step into the space of 15th of February, 2024. And it's been a remarkable year. So there'll be plenty of things that you've done that have helped to make it a remarkable year in terms of things you've created, achieved, how you've been, things you've done. But right now, I want you to focus on a couple of key things. I want you to answer this question for yourself first before you share it in the chat. The profound decisions I made 12 months ago were, so when we talk about this, just in case it's not clear for you yet, the profound decisions I made today, right now, were to do more of. What are the things that you are going to do more of that will help you to have a remarkable next 12 months? I hope that makes sense. So the profound decisions I made 12 months ago, on the 15th of February, 2024, were to do more of, what are those things? And I want you to share them in the chat. Emily, thank you so much for sharing. I'm a mum who is fun, calm, and encouraging my kids and husband because I want us to be connected as a family and to create a safe space and foundation for them to grow and thrive. Wonderful. So I want you to share in the chat. What are you going to be doing more of? We're talking profound decisions, big ones, things that grow over time, like an avalanche, not a snowball, but decisions that you make right now that impact how things are in 12 months' time and beyond. Nicola, to do more exercise and time out for myself to improve the time I spend with the family. It is absolutely crucial that you do that. Buying more lotto tickets. Tanya, got to create your own win here. Adam, looking after my mental health and prioritizing my interests and hobbies to become a better version for me and my family. Fantastic. So what we're hearing from everyone here, the next thing, the profound decisions I made 12 months ago were to do less of. What are you going to be doing less of that will enable you to have a remarkable year? Nice, Corinda, to get down on their level. And less time on your phone. Let's really think about this. And when you're writing them down, not just the base level, but if you can see, say, for example, you want to spend less time on your phone, what is a boundary that goes with that? Or what's a rule you can put in place that will help you to achieve that? Do more camping and being with the family. Andrew, my wife gave me a present for Christmas that brought a tear to my eye. It's a Lonely Planet, Epic Hikes of Australia and New Zealand, if you're into that. If anyone else on here is into that, it is a brilliant book with all the states here in Australia. Obviously, it's got New Zealand in as well. And it brought a tear to my eye because I thought there's our holidays for a long time with the boys. And it's not just about being together, but it's about living an adventurous, full life as well. Who else? I'd love to hear from you. What are the profound decisions you'll be making to do more of and less of? Good on you, Andrew. I'd let you borrow my copy, but there's no chance. We'd have to wrestle for it. I'll be more organised with meal prep so that I'm in the kitchen for less time. My son is home after school and I can actively play with him. Good on you, Jess. Nice one, James. Making sure you support Tash as well as yourself to have more me time so your best selves as inspiration for your kids. Terrific. You don't be showing up as a grouchy version of yourselves, do you? Want to hear from everybody here, more and less. Let's keep it simple, but also think about the next layer of it. If you want to do less of something or more of, how are you going to get it happening? Yes, nice one, Luke. That's fantastic. So less time thinking about what to do next so I can be better in the moment. We could go deep on that one in terms of how you can get those thoughts down away from everyone else, or keep track of the things that you want to be doing next, or might be related to organization. Who knows? Could be lots of things in that, but that's terrific. We can only all live our lives in the moment. Making a committed effort to bettering my physical, mental, and spiritual health for the benefit of me and my family, allowing less time for distractions and procrastinations. Yes, Nicola, this is great. I was talking with a guy recently. He said, we want to choose to be happy now. So less time wishing away the weeks until X happens. Choose to be happy now, deciding what it is now that you can be happy about, rather than waiting for the thing that will miraculously change your life. Nice one, Adam. Less focus on work. Nicholas, more me time, such as exercise and health, and less procrastination and hesitation. Very, very good. So again, Nicholas, Nick, not sure if that's okay. So we want to go one level deeper if we can and think about it. Okay, if one of those things is there, we know that over the next 7 days, we'll be doing King in the Morning. That will help with the exercise and hopefully your health as well. You'll be able to show up with intention in your day. But is there anything else we want to put on there that would add another layer to make sure that you have less procrastination and hesitation? Tash, more cooking and more family breakfast. So less early morning meetings, set the morning day up for the whole family. Brilliant. Okay. So I'm watching the time because I value your time. And what we're going to do now is just do a really quick recap because the time goes so fast. So the first thing that I want you to do, your very first step, I've said here, challenge yourself. I want you to make a commitment to yourself to do the King in the Morning every day for the next 7 days and just see what change it brings to your life, because it will be enormous. I guarantee it. Not one of those flimsy guarantees. It's just a guarantee that I know your life will be better if you do it. Okay, the team from Sufficient Funds will be sending you out an email that has the King in the Morning activity in it. Start it in your morning, or even if you feel better about writing it down somewhere, you've already got a copy of the questions from today if you kept them. Just write it down somewhere on a notepad or anywhere. It doesn't matter, as long as you do that for the next 7 days to get you feeling your very best. So show up with intention. This is a big thing because it helps you to switch off and be more present. It's really simple. Having an intention actually gets rid of a lot of the other stuff, so you can have more quality time, you can make more memories and have more fun, and it helps you to switch between your most important roles in life and work. It's a really easy thing to do. The next one, quality time. All time is not created equal, as I said earlier. It doesn't matter about how much time you've got, because sometimes we feel completely stuck. We've got a lot of work on, or it's really difficult to shift in between things. But just practice being in the moment, showing up with intention and being as present as you possibly can. And the last thing that I want to say is, now's your time. As we mentioned earlier, the time with our kids goes in the blink of an eye and then it's gone. We don't have many opportunities to spend really quality time with them. They don't want to hold our hands anymore, hang out with us, hug us, talk to us, whatever it may be. So let's start working on this stuff before the time is gone. So now I'm going to turn over to James. I have done enough talking. I'm just going to quickly have a look at this in the chat, if that's okay, James, before we move on. So Brendan said more family to be settled, better family routine, more gym time and fitness, and less time spent on business and work and screen time. Andrew, thank you. Thank you for the kisses at the end too. I feel very loved. Same back at you. Yeah, over to you, James.
Thanks, Sam. That was epic, mate. I'm not sure if everyone can see me, but let me know if you can't. But,
we can.
Awesome. So, yeah, I mean, I got a lot out of that. I think I've probably got 10 takeaways there. Really, I mean, I think for the key, and I think everyone think about this for yourselves, drop it in the chat if you want to. What was your key takeaway from this? And it really kind of stops and makes you solidify. For me, it's that greater kind of thought that everything we do is echoing through the generations. So you think about your grandparents, your parents, but now think about what you have as an opportunity. And I'm doing that now, is thinking about what can we do now? And when you're stuck on that, in that blurry vision between whether it's work and family time or phone time, or the TV's on and it shouldn't be, or whatever it is, those are the moments where if you think, I think for me, if I think what's that bigger picture, I'm impacting generations here, then you can stop and fall back in line, I guess. So mate, Sam, thank you so much. I knew you were going to bring it today, and you certainly, I think you've absolutely done that. Just to wrap up, guys, we're going to send out an email a little bit later this afternoon as soon as the recording converts, and we'll send this to everyone. That's going to include the King of the Morning worksheet. It's going to include links. If you guys want to have a chat with Sam, Sam has very generously offered to have a 15-minute call with anyone who's either live or watching that recording. So feel free to dive straight on there and book that in. We'll send that out before COB today. We'll include a link for us. We're mortgage brokers, we're financial planners. A lot of you are already clients of ours, and so you know where to reach us. But if you don't and you want to chat, then absolutely dive on. And finally, that'll include a survey. And so when we send that survey out, we're really, really keen to run more of these. And we want to hear from you. What do you think about timing? What do you think about the content? What else would you like to hear and learn about, and what can we bring for you? So keep us posted on all of that. I'm just reading the wrap ups. Thanks everyone. So profound, Sam. Well done. Yeah, love it. Lots of thanks. So thank you everyone as well. Lots of takeaways solidified. So Adam solidified how important every choice is when trying to be an amazing dad. Yeah, 100%. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. And yeah, difficulties in the past, but it's a great thing to be reminded that you can absolutely deal with those with the right tools. And I think that's what, Sam, you bring, and I've seen your courses and your program and everything that you take people through. And so guys, if you're interested in pushing that a little bit further and digging a bit deeper, that's that 15-minute call with Sam that can actually help you really kick that off. So yeah, lots to ponder. Luke and Emily, thanks for joining us. Thanks everyone for joining us today. We're
Thank you, legends.
bang on 1 o'clock. So let's wrap this. We'll see you later. Thank you very much.